What's going on, NBA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS podcast and live stream for Wednesday's 10-game main slate. James, we say it almost every podcast leading off the way. We are winding down the NBA season. Just a couple of weeks left. Was it like April 11th, 8th?
Yeah, summer.
Like
yeah, one of those days. Yeah,
is the official end of the NBA regular season. Then we got obviously like the little play-in game and then the playoffs and all that good stuff. But as we continue to wind down, we have player pools that kind of look like we got going on here with a bunch of players ruled out. Some guys that were ruled out yesterday will likely be ruled back in today. John Moran, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, guys like that possibly going to find themselves back into lineups today. Damian Lillard is essentially, though not officially, been shut down for the season. They hasn't played in 3 slates.
No, official. It's official.
Oh, is it official? Yep. There it is.
Yep.
You nailed it. As of yesterday evening, officially shut down. We knew it was coming. I had to drop him in the seasonal fantasy basketball championship that I'm in. I'm projected to lose that week, most likely because I'm losing out on Damian Lillard. So it's going to be interesting. We have teams on back-to-backs that are going to be notoriously resting. This is the full-on tank for Wembayama in full effect. For a lot of these teams here, lose as many games as possible. Nobody was more pissed about winning last night than the Washington Wizards. This is just the situation that we're going to find ourselves in DFS. We'll have guys that we think have safe minutes. Jonas Valanciunas played 20. Larry Nance will play 25. Well, it's just going to be wild. We're going to have random guys pop off for monster nights. PJ Washington, 48 actual last night, with the rest of Charlotte ruled out. Dennis Smith Jr. being ruled out after lock last night with a mysterious illness. Things like that's what we're going to have to battle through. It's 10 games. We'll do our best, but it just goes to show you now more than ever, maybe play light and be by your computers, your phones, your lineups for 7 o'clock because you got to stay on top of these lineup changes.
Yeah, and be by our Discord as well. We have the Discord link below this video. If you guys want to join, we have not only the NBA DFS channel, we have an NBA lineups channel as well that, cycles through instantly. As soon as a news update comes through, it is posted in that channel. And John and I update throughout the day as well, including our subscribers.
Right, Underdog for their just ridiculous.
Shout out to Underdog and their news team is crazy. Shout out to Sticks. Sticks is always in our Discord posting ins and outs as well, even though he's just repeating everything we say. I'm just kidding, Sticks. Return of Kevin Durant today, John.
Yes. How many minutes do you think he plays?
30.
Okay.
Probably. Not that we want to play him, but I feel like Kevin Durant's always been a guy that they just ramp up so fast. It was only an ankle sprain.
Under 10K against Minnesota. If he plays 30 minutes, you're not playing Kevin Durant?
We'll talk about
it.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
LeBron James coming back today or no?
He returned last game.
Oh, he returned the other day, right? 29 minutes.
Lost in a loss to the Bulls. It was the second time in his NBA career that he came off the bench, and it was the first time since 2007 in which he came off the bench, which is just absolutely insane that for a 20-year career, 2 games career off the bench.
Right.
That just shows you how good LeBron has been. But chock full of stars. Some that might play, some that might not.
Reminds me of the Allen Iverson quote. It's like, why is the 3-time MVP got to come off the bench? The man of 2 famous rants, but I don't know all these all-time leading scorers that come off the bench.
Yep.
Go find it, Allen Iverson. Great quote there.
That one in the practice rant.
The practice rant, and then the come off the bench rant. Just fabulous rants by Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson's taking a look, and us are going to take a look over at Las Vegas, Nevada, for some game totals. Biggest total on the board, John, 239 in Indiana, Milwaukee, Indiana, getting 11.5 points. It is expected that Milwaukee has everyone back, but Giannis wasn't on the injury report. Actually, you know what? Chris Middleton's going to sit today.
Yes.
Boston. They play Boston Thursday.
Boston's on tap. Would it even shock you if they sat against, because Boston lost last night? Would it surprise you if Giannis didn't play today? Right?
And it's just a holiday. It's just holiday playing today. Just kind of like the other day.
Save the whole crew for Celtics tomorrow.
That could definitely be the case. 2.5 game lead now after Boston's loss yesterday. So Yeah, likely no Middleton in that game. Could be no Giannis.
If there's no like Halliburton for Indy, like the Milwaukee could beat the Pacers with just their backup. So
agreed. Brooklyn 10.5-point favorites against the Rockets, two teams that love to just play their starters right now. So that
Cal Bridges scored what 46 the other day.
Yeah, he's insane in a 20-point loss. He was literally the only person that was scoring. Philly is a 4-point favorite against Dallas. That is interesting because Dallas stinks, and I know Embiid and Harden are both questionable. Kind of suggests one of them is going to play because I would figure they'd be bigger
Embiid just sat out, right?
They both sat out, yeah. Harden still has not returned, and he was expected to return, did not, and Embiid did sit out after stating that he was going to sit out one of those games.
But being home and being just a 4-point favorite, definitely a little surprising.
Yeah, it's surprising. Agreed. They're 23-14 at home this year, so expected to be a little better there, but it's not. The battle of the shit cans in Utah, San Antonio, 235.5 total there. San Antonio getting 6 at home. The Oklahoma City Thunder 11.5-point favorites at home against Detroit in a 232 total. 235.5 in Phoenix, Minnesota. Phoenix giving 5.5 with the return of Kevin Durant. And then we get to the other late night hammer, John. We have 2 10 o'clock games tonight. Sacramento, Portland. 237 total. Portland is a 14-point dog at home. Everyone's already ruled out there, so we have nothing to really other than Trendon Watford, but he's already listed doubtful, so it's not expected he plays. They are bad. They are really, really bad. They're going to continue to be really, really bad. And it's just going to be a daily, can we get enough value from them? Because they only scored 9. They haven't scored 100 points in 2 of their last 3 games. Right. They should be able to here against Sacramento, but 17-point dogs, that is a lot of points. So some interesting things going on in Vegas.
Keon Johnson, by the way, now point guard, shooting guard eligibility.
Good.
Shaedon Sharpe, sadly, shooting guard only eligibility.
Oof. Yeah, it's brutal.
But yeah, those are definitely going to be some popular plays. Maybe not. Sharpe up to 67. Keon Johnson, 5K. Nasir Little's $5,100. No surprise to me. He wasn't able to bounce back. They only played 20 minutes in that game as well. Jabari Walker played 25 minutes in that last game. Knox played 33 minutes.
Yeah, Knox had a good game.
So something to continue to watch for there in that matchup for sure. Minnesota Phoenix is interesting, especially if everybody's in that game. So I don't mind that one at all. All right, let's get into it. Top price guys on today. We got a pretty much full board. Luka, 12K. Giannis, 11.6. We'll see if he plays. JoJo's at 11K. AD at 10.6. Sabonis, 10.5. LeBron, 10.2. SGA, I assume, suits up today after sitting out yesterday. He's at 10.1. Kawhi Leonard's at 10K. That's your 10K and above grouping. We'll hit the top plays as we break it down. Let's get to point guard. Luka played. Had that tech rescinded. Only 28 minutes in that one. It was a blowout for them against the Pacers. 46 fantasy points, 25, 7, and 6. He's him and SGA are your 2 guys above 10K. How are you handling Luka on this 10-game slate?
I think there's always a case to play Luka. It's just a tough spot. I don't think we need to go there. SGA is in a much better spot if you want to get there. But I don't think we're really going to get to either of those guys. If Harden plays and Embiid doesn't, I think we're going to like Harden quite a bit.
Okay.
Ja Morant, if he anticipates to play, he's going to start and play 30 minutes. 9K at 30 minutes for Ja Morant, maybe 32 minutes. That's normal run for Ja. I would like that a bit. If nobody plays for Philly, I know Tyrese Maxey's almost 9K, but
yeah, I was gonna say what a price bump for Tyrese Maxey here.
It would be hard to ignore, and then
would you pay 8,900? Okay, James Harden and Embiid sit. Are you playing Morant or Maxey?
I mean, I would feel more secure about Maxey's minutes. I think that's a given.
Okay.
Right. I think that's because Maxey also. So the Denver game, yes, 5-point finish was not that close. They took out all the starters 8 minutes left in the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
He would have played 40 minutes in that game.
Sure.
I kind of like the matchup better for Maxey. Dallas is horrible defense. They are horrible defensively since trading Finney-Smith.
Yeah.
So honestly, I might lead Maxey.
I think Morant gets back to his usual minutes here.
Yeah, but he's only averaging 32 in the year, so it's not like he's like far off from normal minutes.
I mean, averaging 32, but I mean, we've seen it all. There are plenty of games here where he's playing 34, 38. I mean, I don't know. If this is a competitive game against the Clippers, I don't know if they all right, you're on the bench at 32. So I guess we'll see what if there are any reports regarding a minutes cap here, but I mean, I don't know. There maybe there's similar upsides, but I mean, Morant at 9K is just a number that is hard to ignore.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I think it's a stupid price tag.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, we can bank on Maxey's minutes being superior in a competitive game. And, I mean, would have gone for a second straight 50 fantasy point game if not for the blowout at the time.
Yep, that's fair. We've hit quickly now being priced higher than Brunson.
I was literally...
obviously, that is only contingent on Brunson not playing.
Yep.
Is a matchup against Miami. Miami on a back-to-back here. They did not play Jimmy Butler last night. Not that would matter much for Brunson here, but, if Brunson is in, love 7,500. If Brunson's out, are you paying quickly for $7,800 here?
I mean, on one hand, like, the Heat continue to be bad defensively. On another, like, I don't know. I mean,
the last game that Brunson played was against Miami. Played 37 minutes in that game, had 42 fantasy points, 25, 6, and 6. To your point, like, not shutting down guards like they had in the past where, like, Miami was a no-fly zone for guards, they
were just, like, a no-fly zone for
most,
not using people against them.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the numbers suggest, looking at defensive rating, okay, for the month of March, we'll just look at March.
Mm-hmm.
Pacers, Rockets, Kings, Heat. That is the bottom four defensively. Like, there's obviously two outliers there. Kings, but, like, they stink defensively. They're just good offensively. And the Heat. Like, you don't expect to see the Heat there. So, like, I guess we have to, right? Like, if Brunson sits, we know quickly has upside. Does he have... Now, but we're asking for him to get us 40. He's done it in 2 straight games, so it's not, like, out of the
I agree.
Possibility he does it again.
No, I agree. Listen, it's just, again, you have to sort of wrap your head around the price tags there a little bit. Are you touching any of the Thunder guys who played yesterday?
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel the best, if I were to say I feel about any of them, it would probably be Jalen Williams with Jalen spelled Jalen.
Yeah.
Because he's played on most back-to-backs, like, consistent minutes.
Yeah.
Giddey did play, like, recently 26 in the front end, 39 in the back end. And then this one before that, the back-to-back before that, he played 32 and 33. So, like, I mean, it's really hard to ignore what he's doing.
I mean,
right
Jesus.
Now. Yeah, no, it's so hard to ignore what he's doing.
7, 17, 11, 6, 31, 10, and 9. I mean, again, I said it yesterday, but, like, this was the guy I was so hyped about when he was a rookie. Like, could see what was coming. Just, do you think the Thunder could be a first round upset team here? Do you think that they could go and pull off a round 1 win?
I mean, here's the thing: they need to win because they lost last night to the Hornets. They are the 10 seed. They have the tiebreaker over Dallas. If they lose tonight, they're not in the playoff picture.
Yeah, they're not going to Detroit though.
They lost Charlotte. I know SGA was out, but like,
they didn't have their best player. I agree. They should have been good enough to beat probably Charlotte. But I mean, considering the fact that it was just PJ Washington, they probably should have been good enough to beat Charlotte last night. But PJ Washington scored 50. So
I think they are. I think what everybody thinks.
Zinger about to sign a long-term extension with Washington. Good for them.
Zinger is signing one?
Yeah. So the Shams just tweeted extensive talks for long-term extension. So
he deserves it. And Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're gonna have Kuzma, Beal, and Porzingis for the long term.
Good group to build around. They probably see what the demigod's doing right now. They're like, wait a minute, we got something here.
Yeah, true. I think everyone wants to get to the 6th seed because that means you face the Kings, and I think they probably think that's the easiest exploit. Or if the Clippers don't have Paul George, those are probably the 2 best matchups for anybody. So I guess, but like if OKC is in the play-in tournament and they're playing Denver or Memphis in the first round, they're not beating either of those teams.
Okay.
If they were to play the Kings,
I'd probably agree with you. I'd probably agree with you.
Kings or Clippers,
one thing we do like about the playoffs is that starters just play like 40 minutes. So like, you won't have to worry about Lindy Waiters coming in and playing 25 minutes. So. But they don't have a front court. That's their biggest issue, unless Poku plays, which he hasn't played. So, all right, more point guards here. Sorry for the side tangent, everybody. KPJ at 74, Drew Holiday at 73, Chris Paul with Kevin Durant back. We talked about his production dip with KD on the floor. He's down to 73 as well. Jaden Ivey against the Thunder at 72. Like, where is our next point guard movement going?
I mean, I like Holiday 73, especially assuming Middleton sits on the front end of a back-to-back here. I know the minutes have kind of been down, but look at every game that Holiday's played in lately. They've just been like nightmare. I mean, 13-point loss in Denver, but that was a blowout on a back-to-back. 25 minutes in Utah, torched them. 40-point win against the Spurs. Only 30 minutes against the Raptors. 32 and a 16-point loss. Like, he's not finishing games. Like, he's just not, like, that's the only thing. So they're like kind of capping him. If this game could stay competitive, maybe we do see 35 out of Holiday.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite play of this tier. Probably the only one in this tier I'd honestly look at.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, again, there's not a lot down there. Like, one of the Detroit guards is probably fine. I just don't know which one. Hayes played 37 minutes against Milwaukee in that game. Jaden Ivey played over 30. Obviously, he's been popping off, so you're just paying a little bit more for him. But like, this is a decent matchup for the guards there for Detroit as well.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler Hero 65 stands out. If they're like, even without Butler, that stands out. Or even with Butler, that stands out.
Yeah, he's always played well against him. 21 shots last night against a tough Toronto team. It was great to see. Worried at all about the back-to-back with him? Back-to-back on the road?
Maybe, but 6,500...
Partying out in New York last night, maybe?
I mean, probably, but...
You never know.
Probably, but, like, 6,500 stands out. Like, he'll get an IV. If he's out partying, he'll get an IV today. And
that's true.
He'll be fine.
That's true. Bones Highland, 5K?
Bones has been pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Move his price tag from the Chicago game. He's still 5K. Went for 34 in that game.
Look, it's not just like we know he can make shots. I think he's shooting better than he typically does because he usually doesn't make this many shots. But the assists are great to see, and so are the rebounds. Yeah, I don't hate Bones if he's gonna continue to be this good off the bench. Like, why would they not play him?
6x return plus in 3 straight games. So,
dude, why? Like, they're missing their second best player. Or even if you want to just call him 1B, right? Like, they need scoring. Like, Westbrook is not the same scorer as he once was.
Eric Gordon is borderline washed.
Right? Yeah, I mean, just Bones is providing them.
I was so confused when they traded for Bones and, like, never played him. I know he got hurt for a little bit, but, like, even when they got him initially, like, he wasn't playing a bunch.
Yeah, they just didn't. I mean, look at the he didn't play for 20 days.
I saw Norman Powell, I think, is questionable for today.
Yeah, he is questionable.
So that will obviously change some things, I think, as well.
Yeah,
I would think Norm was ridiculous.
Let's see how many minutes. I'm just gonna look to see how many minutes Westbrook and Bones played together, because that could impact his Bones minutes, right? Because then Norm could just take.
Norman Powell may start over Eric Gordon.
Yeah, that could be the case.
But then does that move Highland? Is Highland only playing now because Gordon's in the starting lineup? Is I guess my question, right? Like,
so Highland and Mann checked in at the 5-minute mark for Westbrook and Gordon. That was the sub.
Mm-hmm.
They then Westbrook came in and played with both of them. And then Mann and Highland subbed out for Kawhi and Batum in the second quarter.
So none of the rotations make sense. Got it.
No, and then because then in the second half, well, Bones played 4 minutes at the end of the game with the scrubs. So he really played like 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then got four garbage time minutes at the end. Where there was no Kawhi, there was no... Sure. And they have been in blowouts literally 3 straight games. Not that he's not in the rotation, because he is. But is it 24 minutes if this game is competitive? That's the question.
Sure. I mean, to your point, the last 3 games have all been blowouts. So.
And the question, I think another question to you is, Bones Highland at 5K or Keon Johnson at 5K?
Yeah, probably Keon in his matchup, right? But it just feels like the scoring upside is bigger with Bones. But
is it though? Because Keon took 15 shots and scored 20 points.
No, you're right. I guess I mean, like, if they were to play the same amount of minutes, you told me they're both going to play the same minutes, I'd take Bones Highland probably, but you're not wrong. Keon's safer, it feels like, at this point.
Portland played that, and I remember going into the last podcast, we talked about how Archie Dakino was just playing more.
Yeah.
And they had an exact 48-minute split, 31-17, and Keon was the beneficiary of the 31 minutes. So, do you think that if we don't think this game stays close, it's probably going to be a similar split again?
Yeah.
Where Keon Johnson's playing 30 minutes compared to, right? I mean, that just wouldn't that make like what do you need to see out of Ryan Arcidiacono? We don't.
I agree. I did not much.
So I personally would lean Keon Johnson, and you can play them both obviously because Keon Johnson has dual eligibility. I'm just saying, like,
just ruled out by the way for the Pacers. So
Buddy Hield ruled out. Okay, so we might. I wonder if we're just gonna get a flood of information. We are at point guard. We did skip Nembhard and McConnell. McConnell played 28 minutes last game, John. Anytime TJ McConnell is going to play 28 minutes, I have interest.
Yep.
And Nembhard played 36 last game.
Right. Tobias is already ruled out. So, I mean, like, they're going to be... Not Tobias. Halliburton's already ruled out. So,
okay. I'm stupid. So, would you play McConnell and or Nembhard?
I mean, I like McConnell, what he can do, right? Like, fill the stat sheet, he gets you steals.
He's playing in blowouts. He played 20 minutes in a 23-point loss.
Yep. I like McConnell at 6K. It's just a matchup, but like you said, I guess if it's going to be a blowout, like, it's not terrible. Let's see what else we got here.
I think Lowry's going to sit. I think there was a report yesterday that said he was going to play Tuesday, sit Wednesday. If he did, I would have interest in a little interest in Gabe Vincent. Slight interest in Gabe Vincent, if Lowry were to sit.
Right.
I'm looking for the report. I swear it said we'll play Tuesday, sit Wednesday. But I also could just be making that up. Kyle Lowry plans to play Tuesday, rest Wednesday. So the Heat will be Gabe Vincent at point guard, and if he doesn't play, maybe we get Oladipo, who started yesterday.
Sure.
Both those guys are point guards under 4K.
Okay. Let's go over to shooting guard here. Booker's 99. Kyrie's at $9,500 here. Anthony Edwards, questionable at 91. Guys we've yet to discuss here. We talk about Booker all the time, but you do have Durant coming back. Irving's dealing with Luka. You got Anthony Edwards on the opposite side of that Phoenix matchup here. I don't really love either of these guys. I don't know if you need to expand upon them, but it's not really a level I'm looking to dive too much into.
You can play them in tournaments if you want, but that's,
Yeah. I think the next tier, you got Levine at 81 and Bridges at 76. I like those two plays much more, I think.
Bridges is going to be popular at 7,600. Let me tell you that. Look at the scoring. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep.
He is a case study for all 3-and-D guys around the NBA.
So we kind of started with Bojan this year, right? Like Bojan gets away from like a team that has offensive players around him, and all of a sudden he just starts taking 20 shots a game.
Yeah, but Bojan had like his time with Brooklyn too, like where he had like a 50-point game.
Not that
like,
Bojan was ever a 3-and-D guy. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying like a guy that never was always like the third or fourth option.
Sure, right.
But like was like an okay scorer in that role, and then he gets to a team where they're like, yeah, you're our guy, and he's like, okay, I'll take 15 threes. That's cool. Let me go. So.
Yeah. I love Brady to 76, by the way. Holy cow.
Yeah, he's probably a core play for today. No doubt about it. Jalen Green on the flip side of that matchup at 7K. I know you've been a big fan of him.
Yep.
And his production there. THT, Shaden Sharp, Kevin Hoarder. You mentioned Hero already. Like any must-haves in that group?
I mean, Sharp's going to play 35 minutes. You know, that's a plus, and he gets a bad defensive team. So, like, sure. Like to see 35 minutes out of THT. Like to see 18 shots out of THT. You know, if you can stay out of foul trouble.
Questionable again.
Yeah, Markkanen. There's no Markkanen. No problem getting the THT. Not paying 66 for Kevin Huerter. No shot in the world unless someone is ruled out.
Yeah.
I would play Melton again. He was terrible last game. But 3 for 12 shooting, didn't play because of the blowout at the end of the game. So if guys are ruled out, I would go back to him. That's kind of how I feel about the next year, because we get Benny Math.
I was gonna say Ben Mathurin played 38 minutes against Dallas. Yeah. No Halliburton, no Hield once again.
He checked back into that game in a blowout. Like, I think it's Ben Mathurin season, and that's what it is. Like, he's just gonna run. He is the captain now.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Anybody else down here? Like, what's your next 5K below play?
So, I mean, if Brunson sits Quentin Grimes, John, like 40 fantasy points again, 5,400.
6 assists in each game. I mean, like,
yeah, it's crazy. So, like,
he got off to an awful start on that game, too, dude. Yep. I don't know if you played. He was like 0 for 5 shooting or something like that.
I did not play him, but he did. But he had like 4 assists and 4 rebounds. So I was like, huh. And then he checked back in and played blowout run. So, like, kind of matchup proof, I guess, sure. You know? So Quentin Grimes, Luke Kennard, 5,400, huh? I mean, I know he played well again last night, but like
6 of 8 shooting, 4 for 5 from 3. But if Morant's back, but
I'm not paying 5,400. That was just me more so commenting on the fact that he's like, Isaiah Joe went nuts
if
again
you're
last
Memphis,
night.
Just play him over Dylan Brooks.
Yes, I agree. Of course, it was a Malik Monk 26-minute game, of course. Because I don't know.
Go back to Max Strus.
I guess, yeah.
Can't let you down 2 games in a row, can he?
I'll let the Max Strus. I think he's gonna play like 26 minutes, but like 3 shots, dude.
Yeah.
3 shots.
Yeah, not great.
No,
yeah. I mean, of course, Isaiah Joe was gonna break the site. There's no SGA.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But SGA's gonna be back, so I'm not gonna. Yep. But if he's not, sure, go for it.
We think.
If Norman Powell's active, I would consider him at $4,300. That feels pretty good.
That is a really cheap price tag. He's missed 27, so he's almost missed the full month. Shoulder injury. Yeah, he should get back to like 25 or so minutes.
Right.
I would consider that as well.
Right, like because he's another volume guy.
Yeah.
Remember how slow of a start Norman Powell got off to this year, and we were like, "Was this guy broken? Like, what happened?"
Yep.
And then he started just knocking down shots. I got nobody else here. You got anybody else? Okay.
Nope.
Small forward, we get the cream of the crop guys here. LeBron, Leonard, and Durant. You paying for any of them?
No.
What if LeBron's starting?
Chicago's been good defensively.
Okay.
It's just not like a fun matchup. They play so slow. 10-2 doesn't feel... Like, I think I'd rather probably pay for Kawhi. I think he left the New Orleans game with that face injury and he shot terribly. They blew Chicago out. He doesn't play the final 6 minutes of the game, 7 minutes of the game. I think he's a good contrarian play, but he's probably the only one up here I'd play.
Yeah. I mean, buckets, assuming he plays, you got him in MSG.
Yep.
I definitely like that.
They're now in the play-in game currently too. So they need to win. Play in tournament, I should say. They need to win games.
DeRozan I like at 83. Again, I like Levine. I like just like that group.
Yeah, both are fine.
Let's see here. Anybody else? I guess. I mean, you like Toby if guys are out.
Love Toby.
RJ Barrett against Miami.
I would play him if
slight bounce back against Houston. They're only 29 minutes because of that
blowout,
but still a cheap price.
Yeah, it's a good price.
Cam J's under 6K. 26 minutes in that game. 25 the game before that. Some blowout minutes. Probably affecting him a bit there. Also, I mean, we didn't talk. What was Dinwiddie's price? We didn't even mention Dinwiddie. 7,600 for Dinwiddie. He was 0 for 11 shooting in that game against Orlando.
Yeah, I'm telling dude, it was literally Mikal Bridges and then everyone else in that game.
I would run back with Dinwiddie at 76.
So would I. It's a great matchup. Great matchup.
But like you said, like it's hard for anybody else to score when one guy is a flamethrower. So like it's not easy to do. There's not much down here. Like Agbaji against San Antonio could be a good spot. We haven't talked to any Spurs players. Is all the Spurs out? Is that what the problem is?
Keldon's out.
Keldon's out. Is Vassell?
And Vassell's out.
So okay, like I feel bad then. Like Trey Jones is 57. I just like my eyes glazed over at San Antonio as we're like driving by them on the player pool. But like Trey Jones by himself at $5,700, maybe.
Well, yeah. Who do you? I was gonna say who. So my assumption would be they start Branham.
Yep, Branham.
They start Jones. Yep. They start Bates Diop. They start Langford, and they start Collins. That would probably be the starting five. Like what other Jones is good. Branham's fine, but why do they not play him more? Right? Like
they're just playing everybody 20 minutes.
I know that's the problem, and that's why
except for Zach Collins. Zach Collins plays 30.
I was okay with just ignoring the Spurs and pretending they didn't exist.
Okay. Trey Jones is definitely an interesting price.
Yeah, Trey Jones has a very high usage rate without everyone on the floor. Our boy Jordan Nwora is going to play 30 minutes again.
Jordan Nwora is going to play 30 minutes tonight. A little revenge game narrative there.
True.
Harry B is at 55. Tari Easton's still playing a lot of minutes because they just keep getting blown out. So
yeah, I know. Put him on the floor. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see here. Even Fatencio is questionable to play today.
Yeah, he missed their last game.
Guy, right?
Yep. Yeah, he missed last game. They're in trouble that game is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, this is all gross. This is
Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox 42.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. But you have to trust Kevin Knox gets minutes, right?
Yeah, if that game blows out, then Kevin Knox is going to play. If it doesn't, then Nasir Little probably plays.
Yeah. Tough. All right, let's go to power forward. You do have Giannis. If Giannis is active, do you trust him against Pacers here?
Price tag probably doesn't warrant it, just given the fact that this game is going to blow out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with no Halliburton. I know they lost the other day, a couple weeks ago, to Indiana, but you can do it in tournaments if you want.
Let's see here. You got Randall at $9,800.
It has to be Brunson out. Brunson has to be out.
Yep. It's a tough spot for Randall though. But
he was off to an insane start. I even messaged you it was a Randall. It was a Randall night, and they then quickly just took over, and the game was it was wraps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would honestly get to many of these guys.
Yeah, I'd say Triple J had a good game, but he fouled out. Towns at 8K. I believe Ayton's returning in this game, right?
He played last
game too. Right. Jalen Williams did what we expected him to do last night, but he'll have SGA back today. But
he played again. He does play on back-to-backs. 38 minutes on the last back-to-back for Jalen Williams.
Kelly O, we talk all the time if guys are out. Only took 6 shots though in that game, but still filled the stat sheet up. I like Jabari.
Markkanen played in that game.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. Markkanen.
You're right.
Markkanen's been playing every other game.
Right?
So if that trend continues, he doesn't play here. Definitely go to Kelly O.
Okay, and that'll bump Agbaji back into play. Let's see here. I've been playing Jabari Smith periodically. He had another good game, double last game out there. So, if you want to take a look at Brooklyn, you could. Keegan Murray against Portland.
Yeah.
Bad shooting night the other night.
Dude, his floor is just like basement level stuff. Yeah. It is just lineup killer stuff.
Yeah. You said that Batum's going to be starting moving forward?
Yes, he had 8 threes in the last game too. They are Marcus Morris is out. But they are going to start Batum over Morris even when he returns.
Okay.
That's what Tyronn Lue said, and we know Tyronn Lue says a lot of things.
Yep.
So it is what it is, but we know Morris is out, which means Batum's gonna start.
Aaron Nesmith had the opposite Nick Batum game. He was 1 for 10 shooting. But he did play 34 minutes. So.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I mean, Indiana's without let's see. So they officially ruled out Buddy Hield. So they're without Hield, Duarte, and Halliburton. Could be likely going to be without Miles Turner as well, right? So
yeah, I agree with you. Let's see here. That's probably it, right?
Jabari Walker, if you want to take a shot, he played 25 minutes, but that's very low floor stuff.
Right. All right, let's go to center then. Embiid's at 11K, AD with LeBron backs at 10-6. Then he gets a bonus against Portland, but we're not expecting that game to be overly competitive. Obviously, if JoJo's in, we like him against Dallas.
He'd probably be my top spend up.
Yeah, I agree with you. Home against Dallas, that's Dwight Powell. Good luck, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. They're giving JaVale some minutes lately too. JaVale,
just anybody.
JaVale Christian Wood, and because I think Kleba's out, who's their best. No, he's questionable. Okay. But if Kleba doesn't play, I mean they're cooked.
Blocker Kessler had 7 of them against Phoenix.
Yeah,
if there's no Laurie, I love him. Even if Laurie plays, I guess probably play Blocker Kessler. Great trade by Utah. Granted, they suck, but you got rid of Gobert and you got Blocker Kessler back.
Yep.
Can't.
Yeah, who we didn't mention? We didn't mention I don't know if you mentioned Karl Anthony Towns.
I did. 8K.
Okay. 8K. That's a good price.
Yeah, I talked him up.
I just saw Gobert and I was like, oh wait, I didn't remember hearing Towns.
Yeah, no, I mentioned him. I didn't go too much into it because he hasn't really been paying the tag.
He took 16 shots though last game. That's 8K is too cheap.
He's gonna run up against Kevin Durant today. So, let's see here. I mean, I don't know would you do Ayton against Gobert?
Probably not.
Right? I always like Claxton. 28 minutes against Orlando, nearly had a double-double. The blocks.
You want to know? You want to know what he did into half with that game, John? James played Claxton. He had 2 rebounds and a turnover into half.
I know that because when I went on with Fensty, I told him that I liked Claxton over Clint Capella that day, and Clint Capella had 17 and 17, and Claxton did not. So
he's done this a lot where he just explodes in the second half, and that's whatever. Yep. It's just very unsettling when you roster someone who he was 6% owned. Going into half, he had 2 fantasy points. I'm like, all right, this is the worst possible scenario of all time.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Şengün didn't only play 28 minutes the other day. I know it was the blowout there. Bagley did see 35. What was the Bagley run for? Did he play blowouts or is he just now playing?
He's probably just safe with
right because Wiseman only saw 20 minutes in that game.
And Duren played 28, so they just split. Yeah. Those two are just splitting center minutes, and Bagley's just
your power forward.
Power forward. Yep, that is just exact. That's just.
What I'll play Bagley then at 6,800 against the Thunder.
Yeah, I think it's a decent price tag. I would rather play if they're gonna play Duren over Wiseman. Duren just had 18 and 10.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, we were surprised they traded for Wiseman
because they
had Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart and all those guys, right? But then they were like, bro, James Wiseman's our starting center for the rest of the season, but we're only gonna play him half the time. So. Zach Collins, obviously a tough spot against Kessler there, but 6,400 and Collins has been really good.
Yep.
Would you play Miles Turner if he's active? He's questionable.
I just don't think he's going to be.
Okay.
Like if we're saying these guys be ruled out, they're just white flag. It's white flag.
12 minutes for Christian Wood, hilarious. Yep. Zubac's at 54, 24 minutes for him there.
He's fine. Probably comes down to like this tier is Tillman played a bunch again yesterday. But is that because Jackson fouled out in 25 minutes? Probably, but that's always on the cards.
Sure.
He didn't have to guard. He's guarding Kawhi.
After touting the other Jalen Williams yesterday, he played 18 minutes against Charlotte because it was the front end of a back-to-back. Do they play him today? Who are they playing at center? They're not, Poku played 10. Put it on the board. Played 10 minutes last night.
It was only a matter of time before Poku. And I actually wrote up Jalen Williams in the playbook yesterday, but I did include there will be a time when Pokuševski returns. Yep. They played JRE 27 minutes last night.
All right. Listen, I don't mind. He had moments this year.
No.
He had moments.
No. Back to back. No. Right.
What if he starts?
Don't care. He's not starting the second half. He's not going to start the second half.
So. All right. I got nobody else down there. We're just kind of waiting.
Yeah, I mean, no. Yeah, there's definitely value. The Indiana guys, if there's no Miles Turner, for sure the Indiana guys. Jalen Smith started, played 24 minutes. Isaiah Jackson played 24 minutes at 28 fantasy points.
All right. If you think so.
Eubanks is going to start, and any competitive game, he's been really good. Still had 20 fantasy points in 23 minutes last time.
Yeah, but are you actually playing these guys?
I would definitely play the Indiana guys. They're both fantasy point per minute freaks.
Okay.
If Embiid's out, I'd play Paul Reed.
Sure. I would agree with you there.
He was off the bench. They started. Do you see who they started?
No.
Dwayne Dedman.
Did they? Jesus.
They started Dwayne Dedman. He only played 10 minutes, and they only played Paul Reed 16 minutes, but he had 34 fantasy points.
He hit every shot. He was 7 for 7.
So I would have to look at Paul Reed, and you'd have to assume he plays the 6 minutes that Harold played too. If that game's not a blowout, like Paul Reed would have played 20 plus minutes. So if there's no Embiid, I would definitely play some Paul Reed as well. And then your boy Mitch Robinson was just in early foul trouble in the Houston game. He had 2 quick ones, came out of the game, and then just didn't get to play because they blew him out. So
he just took 1 shot against Orlando.
That's
fair.
It's
not like an anomaly because he had 1 shot in 28 minutes against Minnesota. He's only getting an offensive putback, and he has to hit it.
You're not wrong.
I don't know what happened to our guy here. His face is looking a little fuller in that photo. Maybe that's got a little bit to do with it too. Is he just eating his way out of the league here? The blocks have been great. The blocks are literally saving his fantasy value. But just I don't know what happened to our guy. I love Mitch Rob 4 years ago. They gave him a contract extension too. I don't know.
Yep, they did.
All right, build.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to build.
I
don't want to build. Mikal Bridges, just put him in the lineup.
Okay, Bridges good.
Bridges, I know.
Bridges a good start.
That's all I know.
What else do we have? we had something. Ben Matherin.
Yep, that's a good one.
Matherin at small forward. Okay, we're cooking with gas now. We got a couple of plays.
Where was the value?
Blocker Kessler at center.
I mean, we're not. If we put Blocker Kessler in, we can't afford anything more expensive than that.
That's not true.
Where's the value? Show it to me. Show me the value.
Well, I'm just saying, John Morant's $9K. Play John Morant. He's 50. That gives us 5,200 a player.
Okay, give me the value. Give me the legit value that we have on today's
James
slate.
Robinson Earl.
No, I'm not playing him. He's going to play 8 minutes tomorrow.
He's going to play 8 minutes. What did you say about Kyle Lowry earlier?
He is expected to rest.
Okay, so Gabe Vincent?
Yeah, I think Gabe Vincent's fine. I think Gabe Vincent should probably...
Gabe Vincent's 3,700.
Yeah, he should probably play mid-20s minutes.
Okay, I'll play Gabe Vincent 3,700 if he's gonna start. No Kyle Lowry, right?
Well, he's been starting over Lowry anyway. It's just a matter of like...
Sure, the minutes will be there.
Yeah, the minutes.
All right. Well, if you think Lowry sits, Gabe Vincent's 3,700.
That was the report. The report yesterday said that he was going to play Tuesday and sit Wednesday, and it says it on DraftKings. The second news update says set to play Tuesday, then sit Wednesday.
Okay. Well, then I have John Morant in, we can obviously pull him out, but with John Morant in and Gabe Vincent, it's 5,600 a player for power forward, and utility. If there was another higher price play that you preferred, I feel like there was somebody you said you wanted. Well, you liked Embiid if he was in.
Embiid was my favorite spend up.
If we did double centers with Embiid, it's $5K a player for point guard, or a guard because we moved Vincent to point guard. So it'd be $5K a play for a power forward, guard, and a forward. If we went Kessler and Embiid,
Keon Johnson and/or Bones Highland, one of the two.
Right, Norm Powell even. I'll just plug Embiid. I'll take Kessler out. If we take Walker Kessler out, put in Embiid, move Gabe Vincent to point guard, it's 55 a player. 55 a play for power forward, guard, forward, utility.
Power forward, guard,
forward, and utility. Let's see.
And there's Strus there again. Jalen Smith is power forward. If Turner's ruled out, we'd obviously... what's Nwora?
Nwora's power forward, 52.
I would play Nwora.
Okay.
He's going to play a boatload of minutes.
Sure. 5,600 for guard, forward, and utility is what we got left here. Trey Jones is 57. I kind of want to play Trey Jones.
Yeah, I think Trey Jones is a solid... He has a massive usage rate with those guys.
5,600 for forward and a utility play.
If D'Lo's ruled out too, we have Schroeder there, who's been really good of late.
Yep. Let's see here. Did we want to do a Portland guy?
Probably. It's a good spot.
Keon,
probably. Keon's probably the best of the bunch.
Okay.
$1.
That gives us a 6,200 forward.
$6,200 forward, eh?
RJ Barrett, Cam J. Is that range? Obviously, we could things could change.
Who do we have at shooting guard? Bridges, and he's only shooting guard eligible still.
Only shooting guard, yeah.
Who's at our guard spot?
Trey Jones. Again, we could obviously maneuver that around. Keon goes to guard at 5K. That gives us basically 6K for a forward and a utility. You have THT at 7K. It would give us like a 4K utility play. A 5K utility play with 5K utility with Talon Horton Tucker.
Exactly 5K?
5K on the dot if we use THT. Bagley obviously is $100 less. Kelly O is $100 less.
If we did Kelly O, we could do Jalen Duren. I don't know how you feel about Jalen Duren.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
If he's, I mean, it's, I don't know how to predict when they're gonna split time. Like, but he the clear.
He seems like he gets minutes anyways, right? So like.
Yeah, well, no. So like they're splitting the 48, but last game it was 28 in favor of Duren, 28-20. 2 games ago it was 25-23 in favor of Duren. So he's been the leader of the split in 2 straight games.
Yep, I'm with you there. All right, so we'll roll at this. Obviously, there's injury news. We can pivot if Embiid is out. We obviously will save a lot more cash moving off of JoJo here. But Gabe Vincent, Mikal Bridges, Ben Mathurin, Jordan Nwora, Joel Embiid, Keon Johnson, Kelly Olynyk, Jalen Duren is the lineup. I'm on the playbook. We'll be in the Discord. If you have any questions, we'll catch you guys later. Good luck. We'll talk to you on Thursday.